Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the town of Cedar Lake public meeting for the Plant Commission of August 20th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker is absent. Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Swick?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Here.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Sherry?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Eldridge?
Present.
Mr. Conley?
Here.
Mr. Kubiak is absent. Ms. Heidick is present.
Okay, first order of business, minutes of April 16th, 2025, public meeting, May 7th, 2025, work session, May 7th, 2025, special public meeting. These minutes have been distributed. If there are no corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Parker.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Wilkeny. Roll call.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkeny?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. I'm going to move the agenda around a little bit. I'm going to take number 2, I believe it is, number 3, and slide it down to 4, and slide number 4 up to number 3. Only because the same attorneys work on both of those, and they work out a little better. Old business, number 1, Beacon Point, Unit 8, final subdivision plan. Petitioner, Shelley Development, P.O. Box 677, St. John, Indiana, 46373. Owner, Beacon Point of Cedar Lake, LLC, P.O. Box 677, St. John, Indiana, 46373. Vicinity of 13830 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Request for final subdivision approval, Unit 8.
Good evening, Jack Slager with Schilling Development, representing Beacon Point. We're here tonight requesting final plat approval for Beacon Point Unit 8. This will be the final piece of the Beacon Point development, 35 single-family lots.
35 or 34?
35.
35.
35 single.
I miscounted then.
Yep. We did pay the inspection fee yesterday, so the town has the receipt for that. And we received a letter of credit amount last week from Luke, and the bank is working on the letter of credit now. So we will submit the Mylars and ask for your signatures and ask the town to hold the Mylars and use the letter of credit. It'll probably take them about 2 weeks to get the town, but we're requesting final plat approval tonight.
Okay, Luke, everything's okay?
Yeah, I mean, Jack pretty much covered it. It's really just that getting that letter of credit from the bank, but everything else is in order, so.
Okay. Planning Director, everything cool? Good?
Everything's good. The fees and the performance letter of credit has been received. Ready for the town council's approval.
Okay. Commissioners, we need time to make a decision.
We don't need a remonstrators, that's a mistake.
It's not on my agenda, and remonstrations have been closed.
Okay. Well, it's on mine, so I just...
You have an old one.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
because you're old. No remonstrations.
Mr. Slager, I have a question. Sure. Before I make a motion. Beacon Point, 141st. Is that done? That's all completed? Yes. Beacon Point Original, Beacon Point East. Okay.
Can't hear you.
Is your mic on, Jack?
Can't hear.
They say you can't hear you.
Hello.
Check 1, 2, check.
Yeah. You're too tall, I'm too short.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. I'll make a motion, we approve the final subdivision approval for Unit 8.
Have a motion by Mr. Wilkening to approve the final subdivision approval.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Parker.
Mr. President, are there any conditions in the Burke letter that need to be included or referenced as conditions?
The engineer's letter?
Yes.
Yes.
No, there's no conditions.
No conditions, no contingencies. I didn't see any.
I mean, other than the letter of credit, but that's not in the letter.
That's fine. Just want to make sure this is your last chance.
Okay.
Okay.
Are all the other Beacon Point properties up to date on their repairs or things like that?
I'm not positive, but I believe so. Maybe, I don't know if Jack has a better idea, but
We're current on all of our performance letter of credit. We have some are still in maintenance, some are still in performance, but we have letters of credit on everything that's outstanding yet.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapur?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Number 2, BSC Real Estate Priory, rezone to planned unit development. Petitioner Nathan Biscuits Law, 12632 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, owner of BSC Real Estate LLC. Petitioner is requesting a rezone to planned unit development.
Thank you, Mr. President. Here on behalf of my client, BSC Real Estate, we are planning on seeking a vote this evening for rezone to PUD. We move forward expeditiously with town officials.
I'm sorry, it's very difficult to hear.
I'll try to talk louder. Is this better?
Thank you.
All right. We moved forward expeditiously after our last meeting, had a good conversation with town staff late last week, and they've asked for one more sit-down so that we can fine-tune everything, which we graciously agreed to. Looking forward to working with them. So this evening, we are asking for, in conjunction with town staff, to defer this to the September public hearing. We did send out all public notices. I don't know, I'll leave it up to the discretion of Mr. Austin if we should have public hearing tonight or if we should defer it to next month, but I'll leave it to his discretion and suggestion.
It's not even close to being ready for a public hearing.
Not close?
Not even.
Okay.
So we did serve up notices, so if we could defer it so that we don't have to reservice notice again.
I don't think so, Nathan. The documents presented are not sufficient for even a recommendation to be made. We have agreed to review and need to develop that development agreement, and we're going to do that. So set this over, and folks get the benefit of the notice that says documents are here, and public hearing will take place in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. 4 weeks, I guess.
So a deferral to the next public meeting wouldn't be enough time?
To the next are you saying in 4 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it can be. We've talked, we've got to get schedules cleared, we got a little bit of work to do. But that was the timing that we talked about and the substance that needed to be considered.
So a deferral to the next public meeting will work?
It should be on your work study agenda and then set for public hearing in 4 weeks.
Okay.
Right, so we would defer to the September public meeting.
So they wouldn't have to re-advertise or anything?
Well, I think they should re-advertise. It's my opinion that they should re-advertise. The beef of the agreement is the project, and that's not developed. We couldn't give it to you now if we wanted to.
Okay.
But it should be deferred to the work session and then to the public meeting, right?
Public hearing in 4 weeks, John.
But it's got to re-advertise?
That's what he said.
That's your call, that's not mine, but the public hearing notices the public of what's on file, what's prepared to be presented, and what's available for review. It's not here right now.
I hate having them to spend that extra money, but...
I didn't ask if legals were in order, are they, or?
I don't have any legals.
They are in order, they've all been submitted. I received a phone call last Friday afternoon, late afternoon, asking if we could defer this to next month, I graciously agreed to give the time. The gist of what we submitted has not substantially changed since the end of May. I don't think it's that big of an ask, and I've done it in plenty of other municipalities where if we're not ready, you defer it.
Oh, I'm not worried about deferring it.
Don't have a
We
problem.
don't have to re-notify it.
Did you watch the meeting last night?
I did.
Okay. We got accused by a lot of people that we are not transparent enough and not notifying people enough, so if it's Mr. Ush's opinion that we need to re-advertise just to be transparent, although I believe we are transparent, just to make sure everybody that has some sort of an interest in it gets a notice that the next public hearing will be at the next public meeting. It's only fair, and it saves us a lot of heartburn.
I saw some of the comments that are unfortunate last evening. I guess the frustration that I continue to have is that nothing has substantially changed, and this has been on file since the end of May here.
The public hearing's changing. It's getting deferred to another date. If people are interested in it, they need to know that they need to be here then.
Right, and it's common practice, I guess, with the state and with the code, that you can defer it, and people are free to come in and see if there's any changes. We can re-notify, so I'll respect, I'll disagree, and that's what I've encountered elsewhere, is my point.
We can agree to disagree. I'll make a motion that is deferred.
Whoa, I got questions.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned a little history with this, May. We first heard this, it didn't say anything about 10 years. So, I think you or your client had originally said you'd have all these phases done, because we talked about phases, and first phase triggers the second phase, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The timeline on that paper that showed up says 2 to 10, 3 to 10, 4 to 10. Is that what they plan on doing, is taking up to 10 years to finish all this?
That was the representation that we made 2 weeks ago, was the phase timeline that you have requested. We tried to be reasonable, because there are some significant improvements here.
Well, there are some, but the way that document is written, it doesn't seem to be one thing triggers the next thing. We don't know, all of phase 1 needs to be done before phase 2 starts. That's the most important thing. So it's because staff can't keep track of all the goings on.
Sure. And in my understanding, Mr. Wilkie, when we left the last meeting 2 weeks ago, is that what we had presented, this board was satisfied with, recognizing that there is some fluidity and overlap with the variety of developments to be made over time.
But originally, the phases and the triggering were mentioned originally. I'm asking if your submission is still going to be 10 years to finish all these phases. Is that still, you're gonna stand with that?
It hasn't changed since the submission that we made 2 weeks ago. That's still the intention.
Right, but prior to that, you mentioned May, you said nothing significantly changed. Well, the timeline for completion doubled.
You had requested a more specific timeline, so we presented one. Yeah.
But over there, I think it was 5 years is what the words that were spoken. So, some things did change since May.
Sure. No, I agree. I agree.
I got nothing else.
Okay. We're gonna make a motion?
I was gonna make a motion to defer this item and it be re-advertised for the next public meeting, and I don't know what the date of that is, but the public meeting in September.
I'll second it.
A motion by Mr. Parker to defer this to the September public meeting and to re-advertise for that meeting, seconded by Mr. Wilken. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
No.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
No.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes. What'd you say, Jim? Yes or no?
No.
Motion carries 4-2. Okay, now we're gonna go to number 4. MNL Adventures LLC, site plan and rezone to planned unit development. Owner MNL Adventures LLC, care of Vislaw, petitioner Vislaw, LLC, 12632 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 10708 West 133rd Lane, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a site plan approval and rezone to planned unit development. Are legals in order?
This is another one, Mr. President, where town is requesting.
Are legals in order?
I don't know, I don't have them.
Why did we get them, or?
Grab the files.
I spoke with Mr. Austin on this last week. The certifieds were sent out, the Times failed to timely publish it. We spoke about how this was going to be deferred to next month anyway. So we discussed at that point we'd have to redo the public notice for the newspaper anyway because of the Times. So that was a conversation we had.
You're going to ask for deferral of this?
Yes, yeah. And I had spoken with town staff last week on this one as well. They also requested time for Dave and I to sit down on this one too.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right.
So that is the request for a deferral to the next month's public meeting.
All right.
Mr.
All right.
Chairman, just a brief comment. Nathan's absolutely right. We've all been having difficulties with the advertising with newspapers. So it's a crapshoot sometime, some months.
They accepted the notice, and then 3 days later, we got an email back saying a second email, they had forgotten about it. So I immediately called Dave and implemented together.
Isn't everybody trying to forget about their emails?
We've got a new newspaper in the community, South Lake Sun, and they tell me that they can take ads. I don't know.
I do have to talk to Dave about that. I intend to see if we can use them instead of the larger ones.
I gave Dave a copy of that newspaper.
I just got my first edition from Bob. We're studying it.
We got to make sure it meets the state code for public notice is the question, Bob.
And it's good to have a local newspaper again.
Agreed.
Okay, we have request for deferral till September public hearing.
I'll make a motion to defer September public hearing.
I'll second it.
A motion by Mr. Parker to defer to September, seconded by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Pecora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
All right, see you in a few weeks.
Thanks, Nathan. Okay, number 3, Dykema driveway slope, owner Ryan Dykema, 2536 West Huron Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. Petitioner Ryan Dykema, 13523 Beach Place, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13523 Beach Place, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a waiver for driveway slope with 12%. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name's Attorney Stephen Mace. I represent Brian Dykema. I'm with the law firm of Mason, Miss in Hammond, Indiana. That's 53 Munich Court, Hammond, Indiana. With me is my client, Ryan Dykema, who is at the house at 13523 Beach Place, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. And we are seeking a waiver of the driveway slope that is approximately 12%.
Okay, and comments, Luke?
Really no update since the last meeting. The driveway slope has not changed. Sent a letter regarding the grading prior to the last meeting.
Right. Yeah,
But that's obviously a separate issue from the driveway slope that involves the side yard grading. But again, no updates, no action since the last one, so.
Briefly, to update you on the grading, as soon as we had the meeting, we notified them because of their schedule, they couldn't get out there till today. They got out there this morning, and as soon as we get the survey, we will get it to you. Hopefully, they'll expedite it. I've done everything I can to, ask Mr. Reddick to push it for us.
The grading of the property, not
The
of
bottom
the
property line, there was couple of areas that were a tiny bit over,
Yep.
and those have been leveled out. We got verbal confirmation today when they did the survey crew, but then it's got to actually be put onto a survey, and hopefully they're expediting it. I have sent them emails before saying, please expedite this so we can get it to Luke and address that issue, which is a separate issue, but we are addressing it now.
Okay. Is the Building department have any comments?
No, like I said, we will take care of that final site plan review with the final inspection, so.
Okay.
Driveway slope is the issue at hand, the waiver.
Okay, we had, what we're interested in tonight is either to grant or approve or disapprove of the request, petitioner's request. We also had, batted around a fine for not following the plans that were approved and presented to the town. So I'm going to open up for discussion with the commissioners up here and get their reactions to whether we fine or not, and if we fine, how much.
I have some questions.
Go ahead.
Luke, I thought there were two issues on the property. Just the driveway? Weren't there two issues?
But the only thing is on our agenda is this driveway.
Well, I'm wondering what changed.
Well, they had the side lot was not to grade, and they brought it up to grade. So, and that's per what Luke had said, that they did the grading, and they brought the side up, so the only thing in question right now
is the driveway.
Is the driveway, and that's poured and all that, so.
And Luke was very helpful and gave us a drawing of what he needed and expected, and we appreciate that. And it was, I believe, 4 to 6 inches in a couple of areas. That was done, and we had it shot this morning, and we'll provide that service. But we understand we're not going to get an occupancy permit until that's signed off, we get a proper survey that works, approves, and the town.
Right. Yeah, and my intent tonight is just to get this moved off our
We're gonna
plate,
do that.
get you guys on the road, and,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So now we've still got the question, do we fine, and if so, how much?
I'm not done yet.
Okay?
Tim, how many stormwater citations?
Now, wait a minute. This is for, on the agenda is the driveway. I'm not concerned about stormwater citations, MS4s, or anything else. All I want to discuss is the request for driveway waiver, and if we do or don't fine, and if we do, how much. I don't want to hear the rest of it.
Okay.
So let's move on.
Mr. Chairman,
Discussion with whether we fine or not.
there's many lots in this town that are 12 degree. There will be many more in the future. I strongly suggest that we approve this request waiver for 12 degree slopes.
Did you ask for a motion?
And that's just, you put on our opinion, right? That's the only motion.
Yeah, it just has to finish. So you're saying approve
Yeah.
and fine? Yes or no?
If there's a kind of minimum,
What?
$200.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
$200.
Mr. Hunley, I strongly disagree with you because $200 isn't enough to deter the next person from deliberately deviating from the plan they present to the town.
And Mr. Kubiak made it very clear to us that the plans submitted were not followed. The garage floor, et cetera. I know we're only talking about the driveways.
But, I mean,
Town is over 12.
I know we got stuff that wasn't done correctly in the past, but we need to make sure that we get things done correctly in the future. The goal is to not continue to make mistakes. But, I respect your opinion, but I respectfully disagree.
Well, I'm going to stick with my opinion. Maybe the fine might be different, but I'm going to stick there to prove it.
Are you doing that in a motion, or?
No, these are still the discussion.
Okay. All right.
You guys talk in the mic, because we can't hear.
Pull yourself.
Thank you.
All right, Greg, you're in favor of a fine?
I am.
And do you have a dollar amount in mind?
$8,000.
How much?
$8,000.
Okay, Bob, you, can I get your opinion?
I'm just listening right now. I have no opinion right now. I'm leaning more towards Jim. I don't want to go that high.
So you do have an opinion.
Yeah,
You're in favor of a fine.
yeah, but not, I don't wanna go $8,000.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm folding right now. I'm not, saying that's what it's gonna be.
Just like Jim said, all those other people made the mistake. Should we go back and find them too?
No, that's not necessarily true, Bob. We don't have that many mistakes unless somebody deliberately deviates. What Jim's talking about is stuff that happened before codes changed and things of that nature. He's not talking about new subdivisions that we had people deliberately build something outside of what they presented when they got the permit.
I think we did in Lakeside.
It may have happened a few times, and I don't believe that this was a mistake, though.
And Bob, Lakeside, the gentleman that did that, was fined heavily for the Three Seasons room, Mr. Kubiak, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Austin, the maximum fine is $7,500. $7,500. That's my number.
7,500?
Yeah.
Pete?
I agree with approving it, but I'm kind of with Mr. Conahan in regards to the amount, but I don't have one in mind right now.
Can we, if there's a fine, could there be a vote to approve the 12% deviation and then a vote on the fine?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because I'm gonna tie the fine in with if we approve the waiver, then the waiver will, I'm gonna say, ask the waiver not to become effective until the fine is paid. So if it's $500, once Mr. Dykman pays the $500, the waiver is in effect, and he's in the clear. If the fine's whatever it is, once that's paid, then Mr. Dykman's waiver becomes effective, and his driveway is approved. So that's the way I want to see this go. I want this moved out of here tonight, and I want a respectable solution to this problem. And I think maximum fine is too high. I think $200 is too low. I'm thinking somewhere around, $1,000, somewhere in that area. And all we're trying to do is we're not fining him because of the grade 12%. We're fining him because of how he built the driveway, not according to the approved plans. And that's what the fines are for not performing according to what was approved and what, the contractor stated was going to be done.
Well, John, there's another option too.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
He dug the basement deeper than he said he was going to, which triggered all these other things. So it's been, that was wrong, then we're gonna fudge this to fix that, and then we're gonna fudge this to fix that, all the way up to the grade. So it's kind of a chain reaction. He knew, you can tell a 2-foot difference in a basement when you're digging it. It's not something you would lose in an optical illusion. I feel like it was deliberate, and it triggered all these other things. In fact, I vehemently believe it was deliberate, and it triggered all these other things. There's also, though, the other option that could be proposed is making him tear out the garage floor and fix the grade, and fix it, which would cost more than $7,500. And realistically, that would probably be the right thing to do, because it protects the homeowner down the road, future homeowners. Because, they don't know that it's built wrong. They don't know that a car will slide out of the driveway potentially in the wintertime. So, that's just my view. I think we need to take these things, we need to make them a little more, especially if it's deliberate, we need to make them a little more painful for folks.
I agree that there were other items that led up to the slope of this driveway. I agree with that. but we're not questioning the other items. We're not questioning the depth of the basement, we're not questioning the height of the floor. Granted, those two items added to the slope that has ended up at 12, a little bit over 12%. But the ordinance in town allows, was it up to 15%? Am I wrong, or is that?
8% is the standard.
What is?
8%.
It's standard, but what does the ordinance say?
8%.
8%.
Someone told me, all right,
You ready for a motion?
I want to find out what we're going to find the gentleman first before.
You want to say something?
Yeah, let me briefly address the deliberate issue. I respectfully disagree with Mr. Parker. There's no evidence here this was done deliberately. As I've said before at the site sessions, only a fool would intentionally, mis-excavate it. He had a subcontractor do it, he gave him the plans, showed the elevations. The subcontractor made a mistake. It's not that he told the subcontractor to do anything variance-wise or whatever. I would put him on the stand, this were court under oath, he would testify to that. This was not a deliberate thing. He found this out after the fact when the town came out and said, wait, we've got an issue here, your driveway is out of bounds. So I don't know where this quote-unquote evidence is about, intentional. It's not intentional. He didn't want to spend all this money on me having to come to meetings. So it was a mistake. We've admitted to the mistake. We tried to explain how the mistake occurred, but it was not a deliberate mistake. And I think would be grossly unjust, we did the Pledge of Allegiance talking about justice. It would be grossly unjust to impose an unreasonable fine, for an honest mistake. And I think if you're going to set a fine, that's the standard you should apply.
Mr. Austin, is it grossly unjust to issue a fine in a situation like this?
No. It's your discretion, you have the authority, zoning ordinance permits it, subdivision ordinance permits it, you may.
We've had a lot of discussions about this, and I feel like I'm a little backwards on something. Mr. Kubiak, was the home submitted for a 9-foot basement?
Yeah.
Okay, so the basement was not dug deep enough?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Correct. Absolutely. That's correct.
Mr. Kubiak, are there any other driveways in that neighborhood above the 8%?
That's a good question, because the first house there, I couldn't tell you for sure. It looks like it is. I don't know that for a fact, though. And I don't know if the as-built reflected that. I mean, I just was, Mr. Dykema pointed that out to me yesterday or today. When did I see you, today or yesterday? Today, and that was the first time it was said, and I looked at them both, and it looks similar, but I don't know. I don't know if it wasn't seen on the first one or not, or I have no idea. But he did point that out to me today. He said he put his level on it. It showed, but I can tell you that the site plan on the first house should not have been approved with a driveway slope steeper than 8%, but don't know the answer, and I know that that's as-built was signed off on the first house, so.
Well, here again, I think that waiver should be granted, and we should give them a $1,000 fine, and once the $1,000 fine is paid, then the waiver kicks in, which is just our guarantee of receiving the fine. I think that's a reasonable amount of money to spend for a mistake made. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I would like to think it wasn't, because there were too many mistakes there to say that it was all purely intentional. I know myself, if I was building and was going to do an intentional mistake, you'd be hard-pressed to find my mistakes. Hard-pressed. So, I mean, and these are obvious, especially the grade on the driveway.
I don't disagree with you, John, but can I give you the devil's advocate of that?
Sure.
Lately, we've had people do things that they know were absolutely wrong, and it's been treated with a fine. and there's really nothing in the ordinance or the statute, like the roof's too high, the pitch isn't right, things of that nature. There's nothing in the statute to issue a fine in those cases. So, we need to obviously be consistent. This has happened before in, what was it, Lakeside? And the fine...
Twice.
And the fines were...
3 times.
You have to make it so folks don't say, well, I'll go ahead and do what I want to do, and I'll just pay the fine. I mean, if we start going down that road, and I said this before, I bought a house in Wheatfield so I could have 2 pole barns. If I knew that I could just build a pole barn here and pay the fine, I would have just built the pole barn and paid the fine. You see what I'm saying? We can't just continue to go down that road.
Well, we're not continuing going down that road because now we're trying to do something about it, where in the past, we have done very little about it.
Well, the problem is people see this though, and they say, well, there's not gonna be any penalty, I'll just do what I wanna do and I'll pay the fine.
Well, they're gonna see that there is a penalty here.
But $1,000 isn't enough to deter somebody from doing just what they feel like doing and ask for forgiveness later.
Oh, should give them 10 lashes too? Yeah, I mean, what?
Mr. Dykema, what's the value of that home? 500, 6, 7, what is it?
600 maybe, so, I don't know what the end market is.
You can't base...
Wedding Concrete was the one that did all the concrete. They had everything forwarded from DBG, everything. So it was intentional, it was by a reputable company that's through your town, you know?
We didn't hire them.
We didn't mean that.
You know, we don't have a formula
We didn't mean
per se, no, I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying.
You relied upon.
Yeah, that's the foundation, that's not the garage floor and the driveway. We don't really have a formula for these fines. 1%, of course, is $5,000, if we're calling it a $500,000 home. I'm not being insulting, I'm just throwing out a number. So.
I don't think you can base a fine on the value of a piece of property. I think you have to look at the occurrences arriving at that mistake, and what the mistake is, and how injurious is that mistake to the rest of the subdivision or the town. Our town attorney, our town engineer stated that the way the grade is on that driveway is not going to add, per se, any more water going down into the streets and towards the catch basin and that, or the reservoir there, than if it was at 8%. It's a 50% higher grade, but it's not going to contribute that much runoff. So based on that, to me, it seems like that in essence it's a minor mistake. Mr. Dykema, I'm sure, is learned his lesson well with everything that he is going through. We were standing up here several times, having Mr. Mates here, and putting, $20 bills out for Mr. Mates. I mean, so I think he's been suffering enough and punished enough on this, so I actually think he should be granted the waiver with $1,000 fine, and once the $1,000 fine is paid, the waiver kicks in, and everybody's...
Mr. President, I appreciate Luke's explanation. I don't disagree with it. But we have limits to the heights of the roofs. And that's not gonna bother anybody either.
But we're not talking about the height of the roof, we're not talking the depth of the basement, we're not talking the thickness of the garage floor or anything. That, is a totally different department. If the building inspectors find problems like that, then it's up to them to bring it up to, town manager or building department, heads, or who, and figure out what the fine is, if there is one, for those mistakes, not us. We're confronted with the driveway in the air.
Mr. Moore, can I ask the town manager, because you said the town manager, and he's got a lot of experience in other communities, what do you think the fine should be?
I think we're here because he is requesting a waiver for the driveway slope. And that is what you need to stick to, is the driveway slope. We are not here to make an example of him to deter other people. We're here to fine him for the mistake that was made. And it's up to you as the commission, or the planning commission, to determine what that fine is. But we need to stick to what we're here for, and that is his driveway, the waiver of the driveway, and not make an example of him to deter other people, but to be fair to him.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Was the contractor a licensed contractor within the town that did the excavating?
Yes.
Well, you asked that, and that's interesting that you do. The contractor makes a mistake. When you find a mistake, you hold the contractor responsible for the mistake. You fix it right then, and you don't have to make 6 more mistakes to fix it. But they didn't do that either.
Jerry?
Tim, what's the cost to replace the driveway? Or your calibrated eye tomorrow, what does it cost to replace the driveway?
From the sidewalk to the garage?
Yep.
30 feet.
What's the number? We're gonna stick to the driveway, we're gonna talk about the driveway. The driveway's too high because the garage floor is too high. And my understanding is the plan wasn't followed. That's why the driveway's too high. So as Mr. Parker has mentioned, we just have a chain reaction here of things. That's not to tear it out, that's just to pour new concrete.
Oh, just a 45?
Yeah, because he has to tear it out to replace the driveway, that's not...
So you want the price just to pour a new drive?
Yeah, new driveway, what's a new driveway cost?
How wide's that driveway, 24? 20? Probably 3,500. 32 to 3,500.
Is that just concrete, or is that concrete and labor?
That's support, that's something go out for it. It's about $6 a square foot, which is, that's 6 bag mix.
Well, here again, I think we've had this round quite enough. I still think that, he should be fined $1,000. We should approve the waiver on the driveway, and it becomes effective once he pays a $1,000 fine to the town. I think that's fair. I agree with what Ben said as far as we don't want to hold him as an example and punish him for all the past mistakes in his town. I think he's learned his lesson, and I think he's going to walk out of here a better man if we do give him the waiver and a $1,000 fine. Those are my thoughts. Now, I've got 5 other members sitting up here, and you guys basically told me your thoughts, and everybody seems to be in agreement with granting him the waiver for the driveway. Now we're just talking dollars. So I want to come up with a reasonable fine, and I don't think maximum fine is reasonable. But that's my opinion.
Ready for a motion?
Well, I wanna know what the money is before we put the motion out, because then, if I don't agree with the fine, but my vote's probably gonna be no.
Well, let me make the motion, and if it fails, it fails.
That sounds logical.
I make a motion that we approve the petitioner's request for a waiver for a 12% driveway with a $6,000 fine.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mr. Parker to approve the waiver with the $6,000 fine. The waiver is effective once the fine is paid.
Yes.
Sir.
Do you agree with that, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
And seconded by Mr. Wilkins. Any other further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
No.
Mr. Swick?
No.
Mr. Hunley?
No.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
No. Motion fails 4-2.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion
Okay.
that we approve the waiver with a fine of $1,750.
To be effective, the waiver.
Be effective after the fine's paid.
Mr. Wilkins makes a motion to approve the waiver to be effective upon the payment of a fine of $1,750.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Mr. Swick. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
No.
Mr. Carnahan?
No.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
No.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes.
Three, no decision.
Mr. President, I'll make another motion
Okay.
that we approve the waiver with a $1,500 fine, and the waiver be granted after the fine is paid.
You won't make it 1,000, which I think.
This isn't a game show, Bob. That's my motion.
All right.
I got a motion by Mr. Wilkins to approve the waiver for the driveway with a fine of $1,500, to be, the waiver to be effective upon payment of the $1,500 fine. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Motion fails for lack of a second.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the waiver with a $1,000 fine.
Effective upon payment of...
Yes.
I have a motion by Mr. Hunley to grant the waiver to become effective upon the payment of the $1,000 fine. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Swick. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
No.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
No.
Mr. Capora?
Yes. Motion carries 4-2.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For what it's worth.
Good luck.
He has learned his lesson.
Number 5, Eminem Warehouse Site Plan, owner petition, Eminem Warehouse LLC, 421 Brookshire Court, Valparaiso, Indiana. City of 13651 Alexander Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Plan approval for Eminem Warehouse Lot 18. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack Halls from DBG, representing the petitioner this evening. This is Lot 18 in the rail side subdivision, that is the industrial subdivision on 141st between Parish and 41. And it's way up on the north side. We got the parcel there. We've submitted a site plan to the town, been through review. We were here 2 weeks ago. There was a couple minor little things. We took care of those items, and so let Luke provide you with that comment. But we're looking forward to your comments this evening.
Okay.
Nope. Yep, so as Jack mentioned, there were some minor items. They took care of those. The one thing that is outstanding is the electrical site plan. So my recommendation was an approval contingent on them providing that electrical site plan, and that could be done as part of their building permit process. We've actually done that with a few of the other rail side lots, so it's nothing groundbreaking, but you know, other than that, everything's in order.
So as long as we just have that contingency in there about the electrical site plan, we're good to go?
Yes, and I actually wrote a letter about an hour before this meeting started saying that, so if you want to reference a letter with today's date, then...
Today's the 20th?
Yes.
Mr. Hulls, are there any snags with the electrical on the property?
No, so, and this is a frequent thing that comes up, and it's really kind of a thing that deals with your ordinance. So, your ordinance has a photometric and site lighting, which is pretty detailed. We provide all of that information. But an MEP engineer, so an electrical engineer, will do the conduit sizing and the wire sizing and routing to these fixtures. That is typically done after this meeting and is prepared as part of the full architectural package. And so we frequently have this as a contingency item that is supplied for the building permit, not...
But this is
textbook. Customary, yes, all customary stuff.
I mean, the site is textbook.
Oh, yeah.
There are no snags. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say probably half of them have the electrical site plan at this stage, and the other half don't.
Okay.
It just depends.
All right.
Planning Director, do you have anything?
Yeah, it's pretty correct. This is something that keeps reappearing, and I don't know if this is something different than what we've done before on the engineering side, but they have been required to ask for pipe sizes and wire sizes, and normally that is not a part of the engineered drawing, but it is a part of the electric, and the MEP is on the architectural side, which they will provide once this is approved.
Well, it makes it easier to get quotes, too.
What was that?
It makes it easier to get quotes.
Yeah, so at this point, at this stage in the development process, we don't know whether we're actually going to get approved, so we don't actually know we have a project. And so many times we're holding off on those final MEP items until we get through a plan commission approval. And they're all required in order to pull the building permit, so it's just generally provided at that point in time. And there's ordinances that are followed as part of that process.
Got it.
Okay. Any other discussion, Commissioners? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve for M&M Warehouse, Lot 18 in Rails Side, and to reference to the letter that Luke issued on 8/20/25 for electrical site plan.
Got a motion by Mr. Carnahan, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Wilkeney. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yep.
Mr. Wilkeney?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much for your...
You bet, Number 6, Ideal Design, Site Plan. Clay Holdings LLC, P.O. Box 2010, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner Gabriel Garcia, Ideal Design Group, Inc., 6508 164th Place, Tinley Park, Illinois, 60477. City of 2712 Wicker Avenue, Unit A, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner's requesting a waiver of site plan. Name and address, please.
Gabriel Garcia, 6508, 164th Place, Tinley Park, Illinois. I'm the tenant and the owner of a business, Ideal Design Group, architectural firm. It's only 1,000 square foot space, 2 employees.
Okay, this is an existing building, it's new business coming into it, we're just, for our chapter 17, they have to appear before us for a waiver of the site plan. Everything, the parking lot's there, the building's been there, everything looks good from what I've seen of it. Luke, do you have any comments?
No comments.
No comments, building department, or?
No comments, the use fits the zone and the building fits the use, so it's all good.
Any discussion from the commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve their site plan.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Parker to approve the waiver of the site plan, seconded by Mr. Wilkenine. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkenine?
Yes.
Mr. Corpora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You too. Offshore Estates, Phase 3, performance letter of credit in the amount of $1,913,039.85 to expire on August 22nd, 2025.
Good evening, Mr. President, fellow board members. Can everybody hear me okay back in the audience as well?
Talking to the
You
mic.
can hear me okay? All right. For the record, and those that may not know...
Your name and address?
Yes, I'm getting there. Okay. For the record, and those that may not know me, my name is Todd Clevin. I'm a Vice President of Capacity with Lennar Homes. No stranger to this board, the company. And I am here standing in front of you this evening to issue a heartfelt, passionate, emotional, and sincere apology.
Speaking to the mic, please.
That apology is not necessarily admitting anything wrong by Lennar. That apology comes personally from me. And if you just allow me 5 minutes to kind of give you a small explanation of how we are here, why I'm here, and how we're going to progress and be better moving forward. Again, my name is Todd Clevin, Vice President of Lennar. It's been many years since I've stood behind this podium, but it goes back to 2004. I'm entering my 30th year in this industry, and I was 27 years old back in 2004 when I first came to Cedar Lake, Indiana. Matter of fact, that evening I left 28 years old. The agenda was that long. That shows you how far this community has come and how attractive it is for developers such as us. The last 5 years I joined Lennar Homes. And prior to joining Lennar Homes, I was warned about the corporate mentality and the corporate bureaucracy, and I never really understood that. I was always on the private side. When I was on the private side, I not only acquired the land, I engineered the land, I developed the land, I'd be in the muddy trenches, I would leave those muddy trenches, go to Mr. White's office, pick up very large checks, and come back. I did it all. The only corporate bureaucracy that I dealt with at that time was a company that was a monopoly. And at that time, I thought it was because of the monopoly that was being referred to as a corporate bureaucracy. I only share that terminology with you because it wasn't until I joined Lennar that I learned what I was warned about, the corporate side of things. And that's my sincere apology. Before joining Lennar, I would grab the bull by the horns and I would take the lead on many aspects of the industry. After joining Lennar, I went in with that type of behavior and I learned really quick it does not work in the corporate world. I was taught to stay in my lane and I respected that, and I have been watching these plan commissions for the last 8 months, going back to May. This is no disrespect to Mr. McSherry. Matter of fact, this apology is also to Ms. Howard, who I believe is in the room. Your story grabbed my heartstrings, and I started stepping outside of my lane and speaking directly to our division president. That story grabbed my heartstrings so bad I wanted to come to the next meeting, but I was staying in my lane. I have finally received the permission to stand in front of you this evening and issue this apology. We were wrong. I drove through Rose Garden Estates today. If you were to listen to the last 8 to 10 meetings, you would think it was a dilapidated, very poorly constructed community. I was very impressed. I would not necessarily give it an A+, but I wouldn't give it an A-. It was very kept up, it was vegetated, And from seeing some of the developments in my 30-year career that never came to final fruition, I'm very proud of that, just like I am all of our communities. I'm very proud of the footprint that we've expanded Northwest Indiana with the Lennar name. Things are going to change. The fact that I'm in front of you this evening and I have the permission to represent Lennar at this capacity, I'm here to tell you, I'm going to deliver you 3 inches of business cards. You can feel free to pass those not only out to the staff, to this board, the council, any homeowner that comes in before you from now on and in the future. I take great disappointment when I heard comments about we're not going to be allowed back. I kept saying, I need to get in front of them, I need to speak to them, I need to solve it, and that's why I'm here this evening. When I was 5 years old, my mom signed me up for soccer, and I heard her whisper to that soccer coach that I had asthma. She self-diagnosed me with asthma, and they put me in the goal. And that was a very stressful position. And looking back on it, I don't think it was asthma. I think it was from being on the hay wagon all day long and then going to 5 o'clock soccer practice from baling hay. But regardless, I was in that position from 5 years old all the way through my senior year of high school as a goalie. Never played any other position. And I would talk to my dad that the offensive players would take 3,000 shots on goal and only make one, and they were a hero. I would block 3,000 shots, let one in, and I was horrible. I was the bad guy. But it didn't mean that I made a mistake. If that ball went between my legs, I made a mistake. That was something you just don't do as a goalie. Well, that's no different than what Lennar has done in Northwest Indiana. I think we've approached the 3,000 mark of homes that we built, and there are some mistakes that we made. And unfortunately, a couple within your town went through our legs. Ms. Howard's story never should have happened, and it never should have got behind this podium, and we are doing everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen again. If you look at all the goals that went through, it's a very small percentage, 5 to 10 homeowners. We're going to have those problems. I've always said that in this industry. You're going to have those problems. However, it's how you solve those problems. We failed with communication. We failed with expediting those problems. I was in Ms. Howard's yard today looking at the August 6th comments she made about the stakes. Personally, I have the permission. You have my promise. I will personally be the spokesperson for Lennar, and I will personally make sure that this does not go any farther. We do have bonds in front of you. I'm also disappointed it never should have happened. We never should have brought it this far. We should have been more proactive. We were following other directions from other superiors. Misunderstandings. Spoke with Tom McSherry in great detail today. He thought that he was supposed to complete the project and then come in for the reductions. Regardless, we're here where we are today. I personally went through every item on this punch list. We all know about this 100, 200 item punch list. Again, I've been watching it from my couch for the past several months. I'm very pleased to say, since I got involved, a lot of these dates of completion were completed after the May deadline, or the May initiation of myself getting involved. Tom has worked very diligently. I have been very vocal and risking myself by stepping out of my lane, that corporate concern. Everybody's afraid of losing their job. I'm not going anywhere. As I mentioned back in 2004, I left here at 28 years old. I hope I still have several decades left in Northwest Indiana of developing communities and taking the pride of watching a bean field or a cornfield go to a community and watch the parents walk their children to the bus. That's the pride and the passion that I have and I continue to have. I'm not asking for a year extension. It's my understanding we're down to 5 items on this list. We have Dennis, who we pulled from one of our northern hubs, who is now primarily focusing on Northwest Indiana, as Tom McSherry has to deal with Madison, Wisconsin, all the way to South Bend. Dennis indicated that these items shall be completed, I believe, within 1 week, the 5 remaining items. The issue that we are having, or the disconnect that I'm having, working very closely with Tim Kubiak, who I've known for many years, great respect for him. Matter of fact, I called him the other day, I said, Tim, I'm getting involved. Tim said, there's a blast in the past. I can't believe you have my number in your phone still. And it brought back a lot of good memories.
It's good to hear, because he's the #1 complainer about that.
I know, that's why he was the first one I called. Actually, I think
he answered the phone.
Well, he called me back. He didn't answer, but he called me back. And I did text Mr. Austin several months ago. I said, I'm watching. Please let the staff know I'm watching. I had to seek that permission to get involved. Again, that's the corporate. If this was 2004, I'd have jumped out of the trench, came here and had a conversation. It's just a different type of operation. But I'm stepping out of that. We're coming back. We're gonna run this more entrepreneurially. We're gonna step outside of that corporate world. I have Luke Fricky with me, who I hired from the city of Crown Point a little over a year ago. He's the entitlements manager. I am here, again, to sincerely apologize to you, the council, the staff, the residents, and our home buyers. Things are going to change, I promise you that. Again, I believe the bonds are already renewed pursuant to the institution that they were issued from. They're up for renewal with this body, and I thought it looked very good out there. The cooperation that we are seeking, in many conversations I had with Mr. Kubiak, he's under the impression Lennar is asking for the staff to hold our hand as we go and we fix these items. That's not the case, and we'll work outside of this meeting. There's just one example of where they're asking to work together, and that's the valve box on the water main. Just a valve box with a 6-inch mini manhole. You pull it off, there's a key down there, you put a wrench on it, that's what turns and opens and closes the gate valve. Those valves are not watertight, so they fill with water. Initially, they ended up on this punch list because they had clay, dirt, debris in it, and that has since been cleaned. As Mr. Kubiak, and I'm not saying this is correct, I'm just middleman here, Mr. Kubiak indicated he went out there, the first 3 items on the punch list were not satisfied. I'm told it's because they were filled with water, and we will pump it down when Public Works comes out to inspect it, but we have to know that ahead of time so we can pump it down, they can see in there. That's only one example. Again, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, and I'm here to answer any questions and help mitigate this, but things are going to change. You have my promise, you have my word on that, and matter of fact, I'm putting my job on the line for that because I did step out of my lane to be here. Communication, not only with the homeowners, not only with this board, not only with the staff, but you're going to have that now. And I'm sorry it took me 6 months to get in front of you, but I will be here. Not to reiterate what other colleagues have said, I know, it might be another soapbox speech, but I promise you, things are going to get better. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Do we have the bond in place, the new one? We do, right?
The 1.9, I believe so.
But we know, yeah.
Luke, is
Oh, yeah, we have the 1.9. That's the one I sent you guys right after the meeting in July.
90 days, we don't have to go a full year. I think 7 days, we're going to be 100% from what I'm being told by land development.
I don't think you built a crappy house. I don't think anybody said that. But our problem sitting up here is communication.
Exactly.
It was getting something done. We asked, and it was all the procrastination on that side of the podium.
Yep. I received a phone call from a good competition friend, and he said, "Todd, are you aware of what's going on in Cedar Lake?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And so I started, they were sharing the links with me, I'm watching it, and I'm thinking, wow.
One of the best things you guys did was you put Sherry in out here.
Yep. And just a point of correction.
Very helpful to us and responsive to us.
And everybody in my office is aware of that, and I commend him for that. One point of clarification, at the August 6th Plan Commission meeting, I think Ms. Howard may have been speaking about a past promotion. Tom McSherry has not been promoted since. He's not going anywhere. He's still going to be here weekly in front of you or monthly in front of you until we get through. We get over to maintenance, and then we're still not out of the woods. We have to turn it over for full acceptance after the maintenance expires. But Tom and myself, we're here.
Mr. McSherry staying here, is that
Yes,
a promise?
that is correct.
That's a promise?
That's a promise, yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was the promotion that was referenced at your last meeting was his most recent, or his last promotion that took place a year and a half ago. He has not been promoted since. He is not going anywhere.
Is there a list, Mr. McSherry, of all the people that have been to this podium and all their complaints and all that? Because we really need to get this dialed down, bare dirt and the berms and all the things we've heard about.
Yes.
That needs to get taken care of. I mean, it needs to be an A+.
Yeah. And like I said, referencing my soccer analogy, you're going to miss a few goals. But it's the ones that go between our legs that we have to stop.
Well, plenty of people have been up there kicking the ball, I can tell you.
Yeah.
So one of the problems we had is we had the homeowners complaining to us
Yep. They never should have got here.
about what the problems with your house is, and we have no control over that.
And they were here because of lack of communication. We
Yeah,
do have a
exactly.
process, but just because a repair is denied, we all have vehicles in our auto, brand new vehicle under warranty, we've all been denied. Unfortunately, there's some things that fall in tolerance that do get denied, but there's an explanation that needs to go along with that. And maybe it also requires a site visit to explain to them, this is within tolerance, concrete will crack, drywall will crack, those kind of things. But in Ms. Howard's situation, that's a ball between the legs. That is not within tolerance, and that never should have got to that point, and she never should have had to get behind this podium, and I truly apologize for that, and I apologize to her for that as well. That was a mistake on our end, and when you build 80,000 homes from coast to coast nationwide, you're gonna have a few mishaps. You're gonna have a few major issues. It's how you resolve them, it's how you address them.
Which brings me back to my comment. Mr. McSherry, all the people that have complained, you have their names and everything?
We do.
Please make...
The ones that were here that I sat on the side after the one meeting.
Those are the only ones I can deal with. Whatever goes on otherwise, I don't know about. But please make sure their issues are addressed.
What was the timeline, you said 5 days?
I believe, Dennis, did you?
He said 90 days.
7 days, they feel this punch list will be 100%. There's 5 items on here. It was down to 3, and it went back up to 5 since I drove and toured the site this morning.
That's just in phase 1?
That's in the
entire site.
All phases?
Yeah, we really...
So
is that true, Tim?
So what you're saying is that, at September, public hearing, I don't know the date, but it's the third Wednesday next month, that punch list will be done, and you'll be up there talking about, final inspection to get it turned into maintenance, and...
Well, we're hoping in September we can tell you that the inspections have begun, and hopefully by that time they might even have been finished. Tim and I spoke today. He feels, I'm embarrassed. This isn't my side of the business. I don't want to speak that corporate language. It's not my side of the business, so I've seen this for the first time today, but I've been watching every one of your planning commission meetings since May. And I finally got my hands on this today, worked very closely with Tom, worked closely with Tim Kubiak. I'm very proud of this. I mean, you look at all these completion dates. If I may approach you again, I'll share this with you, this punch list. I know you've asked for this. All the dates for completion are on there. The highlighted items are the ones that are not completed. They're very minor.
So it's ours or yours?
That's yours to keep.
Tim, everything on this list, have you inspected any of it yet?
Some of it's been inspected, some of it hasn't. I don't know which list he currently has. You guys got the list I sent you.
Yeah.
That was the last list that I got from Brandon and Tyler, so I'm assuming there's a lot of lists going around, but...
How much of the list that you consider valid has been inspected?
I would say maybe 30%.
Okay.
We're waiting for completion. There was a lot of things on the list that were not major items. Curb cuts, B-boxes uncovered. There was a lot of stuff that was simple. I think that the boys refer to the water main's supposed to be bedded in stone, and the valve boxes really shouldn't hold water. That's kind of the complaint of that. The standards are that the pipe is bedded in eighths, and there's a stone bedding on the pipe, so you shouldn't open a valve box and it'll be full of water.
I don't disagree with you on that. It's my understanding, so I asked that same question, because what Mr. Kubiak is referring to, once you put the pipe in the ground and you bed it with stone, it ultimately becomes a drain tile as well. But your water main is not storm sewer. It doesn't have a daylight outflow, so you do have bellies in it, and therefore these valve boxes are in the low spot. So that's why the 5 valve boxes that are waiting to be pumped down, there's no place for that water to go. But it does follow the bedding, but in this particular situation, it's in the low spot because you're following the profile of the road. The road drains because it goes to storm sewer, which ultimately drains to your ponds, and you have daylight. Water main is almost locked in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't seen them, but I know you mentioned that, so that was...
John, could you give that list of items to Cheryl and let her send it to all of us?
Yeah, I'll get it to her.
All right.
When we're done, yeah.
So like I said, there are a few handful of items that I believe Mr. McSherry and Mr. Mayor, Dennis Mayor, would like assistance, or would at least like to be out there when the inspections take place, so they can pump those down. They were tested today. A key does go on them. They do open and close. Fortunately, it's just when we don't pump them down, you can't see that. So I can totally understand when the staff goes out there why they think we did not address it. But again, it's been many months since I've been out there, and to your point, it should be an A+. But I've been in communities that are C+, and Rose Garden, I was very pleased with it.
Well, if they retain water, is there something that was developed in there for it not to drain out of there, so?
No, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. I mean, I'd hate to open up this can of worms. The way you would solve it would be putting under drains in your low spots of the water main, just like you do in your roads, but it's never been practiced that way. It's just water getting in there doesn't hurt anything. You have groundwater just like you do around your foundation. Mr. Carnahan, the only reason I bring the water up is because I can, to Mr. Kubiak's August 6th statement and his July statement indicated that his staff went out and indicated the first 3 items weren't even addressed. And my colleagues are telling me they were, but unfortunately they're full of water, so they could see why when they popped that, they know Lennar didn't address it.
And my town manager just told me that's common.
That is common, to have water in the ballot boxes.
But what's not common is lack of communication, and that ends now, and that ends with my name, I promise you that. Mr. Carnahan, you know I've done a lot of business together, and I'm very proud of Cedar Lake, and I'm proud to bring my kids here, and I'm telling you, I'm surfacing. I'm not worried about that corporate potential of losing my job. I've got a reputation, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm putting it on the line, and I should have been here 6 months ago. I should have been here 12 months ago. And it's going to stop now.
Okay, we have any other questions, discussion?
The bond's in place, Terry, you said?
Yes.
Bond's in place, you have reviewed it. That's the one I sent you guys in the email.
All right. Okay, well, there's no other discussion or questions, so we appreciate it greatly, you coming here and explaining things to us.
I appreciate you allowing me to and not running me out, because I would have been deserved to run out as upset as you guys have been for the past.
Oh, we can run you out if you want.
I'm not trying to do that. This is petition number 7. Does this require a vote for an extension? It expires August 22nd. Again, we're not here asking for a full year.
You've supplied us with the renewal.
Okay.
Which is good for a year, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Once we vote on it.
Oh, we have to vote on it. Okay, sorry.
You have to accept.
And
you're asking for 90 days.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you vote on it for a year, that's great, but I'd rather you put the pressure on us. Give us 90 days to prove to you that I'm here.
You think 90 days is pressure?
I'd love to say we'll do it in 7, but I don't want that kind of pressure. You might see me over at the Lighthouse working.
Start an opportunity to check that list to make sure everything's on it.
I'm sorry.
I got a call today.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
If you're gonna-
It's my blood going.
Who is she?
Somebody who knows Tom McSherry really well.
Oh.
I don't know her name.
That is Miss Howard. I will hand her one of my business cards if I could grab one from you.
Oh, boy. She missed that goal.
Again, her situation is very unfortunate. I have yet to reach out to her. I now have permission to talk to her. I will speak to her, and we'll be a better partner within your community.
Make sure you get one of them cards, John. My niece just bought them in our home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those cards,
We'll get them
those cards extended warranties?
I did not.
Okay, so we need to vote on acceptance of the renewed letter of credit from Lennar Homes for $1,913,079.85 to expire on August 90 days. What's the date for 90 days?
November
22nd? To expire on November 22nd, 2025.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilkenay.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we approve the extension for Rose Garden Estates Phase 3 till November 22nd, 2025, and that we get Mr. McSherry's updates at least once a month.
In the amount of $1,913,079.85.
I wasn't done, Bob.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What Bob said.
Are you done now?
I'm done now.
I got a motion by Mr. Wilkening to approve the extension of the letter of credit for 90 days. Do we have a second?
No second.
Second by Mr. Parker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Mr. President, if I may, not to hijack your meeting, updated item Rose Garden Estates on updated number 1 refers to the Unit 1 performance letter of credit in the amount of $6,067,696.25 to expire on October 10th. With that being said, we would be here October 10th to review that one. So the one we just approved for November 22nd, it's going to be our goal, like I said, to have it done sooner, so maybe we just address both of those at the same time and go over to maintenance, correct?
That is the goal. We do not want to extend that another year, that phase 1 letter of credit, we want to take that into maintenance.
I'd just as soon get it done and not have to extend that one. You got till October.
That's exactly right, yep. So that puts us actually, that takes our clock down to 60 days. And we'll get it done. So in October, we plan to be here and ask for all 3 phases and go over the maintenance bond.
Okay.
I accept the challenge. I appreciate your cooperation. I appreciate you not pulling the bond. I've seen you pull it before. I know you guys mean business. I'm here and I mean business as well. We're going to work together.
Okay. Kubiak must believe you because he's not giving me that hard stare.
Kubiak, what?
He has a distinct look when he's not good.
I failed to mention my home address. For the record, it's 250 East 123rd Crown Point, so I'm literally 6 minutes from your downtown.
Is that on all those cards you handed out?
No, that's our Schomburger trash. Thank you very much. Do we need to stay for the update?
I didn't hear you.
Do we need to stay for the Rose Garden update item?
I think you just did the update. Yeah.
I'd like to work the state, any public comment about it.
Oh, we absolutely will. You're right. I forgot about public comment. We'll stay for that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Number 8, Centennial Villas, phase 2 and 3, maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $111,534.56 to expire on September 5th, 2025.
Good evening, Kevin Pasco, Full-Top Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. I'm here tonight to request a conversion of our performance letter of credit to a maintenance letter of credit for phases 2 and 3 of Centennial Villas. We received our punch list from Luke in early July and proceeded to complete those items within about a month. We then received Luke's approval letter on August 14th, certifying that we addressed all punch list items and are able to roll our performance letter of credit into a maintenance letter of credit. The letter of credit itself was delivered to Terry last week. And then the only other thing that I would point out is that we are combining these letters of credit for each phase into just one single letter of credit for both phases 2 and 3. And that's reflected in the documentation before you. So with that, I'd be glad to take any questions or comments that you may have.
Luke, you got anything?
I've got a question for Luke. Will the $111,534.56 cover everything?
Yeah, yes. That's both phases. That's 2 and 3 combined.
All right.
That's dead renewed?
We have received the renewal, as he stated, and that's been submitted to Jen. She has the originals, and it's for 3 years.
For how long?
3 years.
Why is it expiring in 2025?
Well, their old one would have expired.
So this will be good till September 5th, 2028?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
No, sir.
Then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to takes Centennial Villas Phase 2 and 3 maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $111,534.56 to expire on September 5th, 2028.
A motion by Mr. Carnahan to approve the maintenance letter of credit.
I second it.
Seconded by Mr. Hunley. Roll call, please.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Swick?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Mr. Wolfgang?
Yes.
Mr. Purpura?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Update items, Rose Garden, well, we had that, so we won't go through that. Number 2, Offshore Estates, maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $33,388.38 to expire on October 20th, 2025. No changes, oh, okay, hi Dave.
Hi, Dave Carey, 14016 Fairbank. Cedar Lake.
All right, everything's...
Okay, offshore. Go ahead.
He's good.
Everything's good?
Well, we're gonna do inspections for this maintenance letter of credit next week. So if we have any items, punch list items, we will provide those to you.
Could I come out the day you do that and meet with you?
Certainly. Once we get a tentative schedule together, I can coordinate with you. I know I have your contact.
Very good.
But we'll coordinate with Tim's staff too, because what we look at and what Tim's guys look at is a little bit different. So we added both those things together, so we'll try to circle the wagons.
Very good.
I got some questions.
Yes.
This is a full site review?
This is a review of the public improvements.
So you're gonna be on the west side of the property, on the east side of the property, the north side of the property of the whole development, correct?
Just where there's public improvements, yes. So detention basin, if there's a storm sewer in the yard, we would look at that.
What about the swales and things that are behind the houses and
We
whatnot?
would look at those as well.
Okay, so you have the way it was supposed to be and the way it is now? Is that the things you compare?
Certainly, yeah, we have the approved design drawings, we have the as-built drawings, and then, obviously, then we go inspect and see what it looks like today and compare it and
Okay.
make sure everything's...
So what about the pond that Tim said was gonna cost $8,000 to put back? Where we at with that?
That needs to be shot and seen what it actually is. I mean, that was from David and PGX, from Mr. Carey and PGX. That number,
Okay,
there was somewhere from 6 to 8 inches of silt according to what they said, but we haven't done that as of yet with Luke, so we will be doing it here.
so that ends up being his $8,000 to fix it? To make it as
I don't know.
as designed?
There's some cushion in there where it needs to be now at the maintenance period of time, so until we do our inspection, I don't really have an answer for you.
But who ends up paying for that?
If there's something needs to be done.
Yes, if something needs to be done. Okay, all
Developer.
right. I just wanted that out there for the record, because there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah. I mean, it was built with the sediment basin in the west lobe of the basin, and certainly if it's doing its job, there's always gonna be something in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's concerns that everything is as it's supposed to be when Dave walks away, so.
Yep.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay, so you guys will inspect it, and then we'll see you back here next month and, see where we're at. We got till, October, so, yeah, we're in good shape. All right. Go ahead, Jerry.
Before we get into public comment, we have a guest here from Beacon Point, the HOA president. And Luke, if you could pull up 141st and Parish, there's a tremendous amount of confusion. I shouldn't say confusion. Beacon Point, the original one, there's two roads there. 140th Court, that's private, And then that little strip to the left that goes north and south, 14078, 14086, and 14094. This gentleman has asked that he gets verification that these are private and that they're complete as designed.
Those the two roads there?
But the two roads with no curbs. This little short one serves three houses, and the other one serves, 6 or 7 there. And it says on here it's private, but I know he's taken beating from the HOA and the social media nonsense. So.
Yeah, those were put in, and that was the plan. That area was originally designed for 4-unit buildings. It was transferred over to accept those type of houses with the footprint of the road, and that was presented to the Plan Commission, I don't know how many years ago, but.
I recall, but for the record, the president of the HOA needs to know that.
Yeah.
They were presented to be private?
They were presented to be private.
Person was multifamily.
They were presented to be privately HOA maintained and owned and plowed and everything, and they were done according to the plan, and that's been through the maintenance period, the performance period. That wasn't considered public infrastructure or a public roadway.
Okay.
A private drive.
Yeah, they were platted as private, and with access easements.
So, okay. Sir, give your name and address.
My name is Gene Pito. I live at 13956 Breakwater Lane. I am the president of the HOA of the Beacon Point Central HOA. We have 3 Beacon Points. I don't know why.
I agree with you.
It's all slang.
Yes, and people get confused. All right, so there's east, central, and west. You dealt with the west side earlier this evening rather. This strip of land, I know you're right. That's a story that we got, was that those were originally supposed to be quads. The developer, Shelley Development, changed it for whatever reason. Okay? The homes built there are like every other home in the rest of the subdivision. There is no difference.
Correct.
All right? So everybody goes along. Yeah, I will say this. I heard from someone, and I don't know who, that the people that bought those homes were told at the time of closing that those were private roads. They were responsible for those roads. Less than a month ago, I was in a meeting. Lady sitting right in front of me said, I was never told that. I don't know if she's right or wrong, but that's what she said, and she's one of those 7 homeowners along there. We plan on talking to the rest of the homeowners that are involved in the 7 houses and the 2 duplexes. This came to my attention this past winter when, after a snowstorm, I get a complaint. My street hasn't been plowed. So, and this was from one of the duplexes. I drove over there, looked at it. Yes, those the 2 duplexes. I'm getting old, I'm sorry. We're not plowed. I look to my left, where 140 Court is, and all I see is blacktop. How the hell did that get plowed if this didn't get plowed? And it's the first time I've heard about this on plowing. And I'm thinking to myself, if it is the private plowing getting done, they missed it, maybe. Chances are, you find Public Works Department I think, has been plowing those two sections. And to bring that up a little bit further, when I went to the Public Works Department to ask about why it wasn't plowed, talked to the clerk, she got a supervisor, and when I mentioned what I was talking about, he knew exactly where I was talking about. No hesitation. He could bring it up on his program to show me, oh, these streets, this is not plowed, we plow this, this, this. How do you know exactly where you're talking about in a subdivision if that subject has not come up before and recently? I think the driver probably got, I'm assuming this now. They had a large discussion about what's plowed and what's not plowed in those two sections. And not ever having heard before that those streets weren't plowed leads me to believe that the town has been doing it. So you gotta ask ourselves, why can't they do it now? Oh, it's a private street, okay? For some reason that we're unaware of, that you probably are, when you're dealing with Shilling, why they would want to finish the street. Yes, there's no sidewalk, no curbs, etc. There could be on half the street, because the other side is the side yard and the backyard for the two houses on either end of the street. And there. So, why couldn't that be done?
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, what are you getting to? What's your
I
point?
would like to have the town of Cedar Lake take over that responsibility for those two, the full street and the extension on Nantucket. Because, reading this, when you see it says, oh, the HOA is gonna take care of everything, all right? But that's not just plowing it, that means, oh, something goes wrong with the street, we have to repair it. We're only an HOA, and a small one at that, less than 200 homes, all right? So, what does it cost for an asphalt job on a street? A lot. One block.
Tim, I hear you talking over there, you're saying you're not gonna plow those?
Well, we don't plow them as of now, and it was designed and put in as a private road. I mean, you guys, your HOA has people shoveling everybody's driveways and everybody's private sidewalks and driveways, and that was kind of why, I was on the plan commission when this came through, actually, years ago, but that was kind of why it kind of went that way, and that was why the plan commission agreed to let it be a private road, because of the lawn maintenance and the snow plowing in the neighborhood was already...
Then why not do the rest of it?
Well, it's not put into road specs, or it wasn't deeded over as a public right-of-way or a public roadway.
That is something that you guys set up with Shilling Development, okay? But we're the homeowners. Right. And we're looking at it, we're getting a little short-changed over here, all right? Because it's not. Every place else in that subdivision is like that. And this is not, it's my understanding also that this is not the only section in the Shilling development that is like this. Because was the day that I called the lawn care person to come and plow the extension on Nantucket, he's told me, he says, well, I've got a plow going over to the east side to do exactly the same thing.
But there is no other roads like that in the east or the west, it's just,
I'm sorry,
those are areas that were not turned over to the town as of yet, just like Lennar was doing until they go through their performance period. They still plow, Lennar still plows the entire Rose Garden subdivision at this point in time, and Shillings plows the parts of their phases that have not been accepted by the town.
Are you saying that the town did not plow our streets until it was fully turned over to the residents?
Correct.
How come I lived there before the turnover in my,
Well, I-
there
I'm
were
not
plows
saying-
coming down my street that said Town of Cedar Lake on it.
I guess I couldn't say till the HOA was turned over to the president, till the neighborhood was turned over to the town. So at 80% build out each phase, we plowed half of Beacon Central and then the next part of it as they were complete. So Schillings and all developers take on that responsibility through the whole building cycle until they reach that 80% and they're built out.
Well, I tend to disagree with you because your plow trucks are covering every street except for those.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, no, you know, there's nothing that the plant commission can do about it. I remember exactly what Tim's talking about. That's why that's asphalt there, because Schilling asked it that way. If you got a complaint with the way Schilling built this,
You want us to take it up to Chilling?
I'm just telling you that I would go to Schilling and ask them that question. Or you have to go to the proper department here to question it. The plan commission cannot do anything about it at this time.
All right, then I have another question then concerning this. If the planning commission is so good and looking out for the citizens of their town, why didn't they question that of Schilling when they wanted to do that? Did you not do that?
We don't design things for them.
I didn't say you designed it. But you okayed it.
We did okay it, and we made it private, because that's the way they wanted it, and they had every right to ask for it that way.
And we get no tax dollars for the, that road.
And every one of those people on those streets, their legal description, I don't know what it says, but they probably should make sure it says private.
It probably does.
Because
Okay,
it is private.
Yes, now the other thing is we allow like 3 minutes according to Robert's Rules of Order.
I'm sorry.
And you're talking about something that we cannot handle here. Now, if you could either take that to, the town and see what department it should be in, or you can take it to the town council, but we can't do anything about it at this time.
Okay. Can I ask a question when you mentioned tax dollars?
Yes. We have to have roads turned over to us, and then we have an inventory, right, Luke, of the roads that we do have, and we get money for those roads. But that private road, we do not get any tax dollars for from the state.
Okay. Does that mean that the homeowners do not pay any tax dollars for that?
Sir, we don't know the answer to that question, and I'm gonna ask you to sit down. Thank you.
John, I want to make an announcement here, if I could, for the public.
Okay.
Notice of special public meeting. The town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana will hold the following special meeting at the Cedar Lake Town Hall, 7408 Constitution Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, on Tuesday, August 26, 2025. It's an informational meeting at 6:30 on the Water Master Plan. So if you want to know what's happening with the Water Master Plan, Christopher B. Burke, Kevin Baldwin will be here giving that information.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Were you done, Jerry? Were you done?
No, but I'll wait. Let it go. I'll do it privately.
I have a call for public comment, please. Any public comment?
You got somebody coming up
Come
there.
on up,
and you
just
need that.
take your turn, come on up.
Bill Gores, Sarah Gores, 13546 Beach Place. Mr. Carey asked if he could be present when Mr. Sherry does an inspection of the subdivision. Will residents be made notified of that inspection as well, so we can be present?
That can happen, I don't know why not.
I think it's reasonable considering the history that goes on. There's been multiple requests for information, and quite frankly, I've given up on trying to talk to Dave Carey because he doesn't respond to anything, so.
Luke can testify to the multiple complaints.
Okay.
Over there. But, Luke, if them helping and watching is gonna cost more, you gotta leave them behind.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys coming out and taking care of it so soon. My first question is, are the photos that I had passed on to Greg Parker that were sent to me by my neighbor that experiences the most flooding, in that area, were they passed on to Luke for review?
I don't know if Luke got them or not, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna send them to you before you come out. I also want to make it known that that property was directly sold to her by Dave Carey. My second question is, let's say the bond does expire and the retention issue continues to be a problem after it's repaired. Can you educate me on who would be responsible for any future repairs of that retention pond?
Dave, would you have an answer for that?
I don't have an answer.
In theory, it would be the HOA, I believe.
That's what I was
It
saying.
should be
Yeah.
laid out,
Yeah.
it's typically the HOA in these situations.
Okay. Yeah.
Real quick, we became aware, like we mentioned last time, Mr. Carey and Mr. Dykema are actively trying to get out of any responsibility of paying for the problems of the situation. We now know for a fact that Mr. Carey has transferred the permanent address for the association to one of our neighbors. It's no longer his. Additionally, he's coming up here and claiming that he has an address there. He's not. He lives in Crown Point, so whatever. It doesn't matter. There's only like 5 houses. I mean, seriously. So I don't know what's going to happen. We don't have the money to clean up their mess. And if this town is going to come looking for our houses, our subdivision, to clean up their mess, we're going to have a big problem.
That's what the inspection's for, to make
Right.
sure the design is the way it is, before anybody walks away. What happens 10 years from now, you know,
I hear you.
God knows.
Yeah, and that's reasonable. But and like, sure, everyone here is being reasonable, trying to be reasonable. I get it. But there's just problems that, like we said last time, don't want to beat a dead horse. We don't. There's 5 homes. 6
Tim,
homes.
you got something?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I just would like to be kind of, I went and looked at your guys' yard, I looked at your site plan, I looked at your as-built. Everything on your guys' piece of property is built exactly to how it was designed as far as elevation, the drain, the grade, so I guess,
So the only thing
I
I can say
haven't
to
seen their
that,
pictures,
the
but.
only thing I can say to that is shortly after I moved in, Dave Carey was in my yard explaining to me how my fence had to be removed and that drain had to be fixed. Mr. Carey can come up here and say all he wants that he did not have that conversation or he did not know about that drain. That's the way I learned about it.
So the drain in your backyard is not draining, is what you're saying? The one that's.
From what it was explained to me is that it was something that was installed and was installed incorrectly at pitches. So instead of going down to the ponds that are in the back of the association, the water comes back both directions. Does that make sense what I'm describing? So from my house, say my house is where my left hand's at, the drain's supposed to go that way, it bows.
North, right?
Yeah, it bows, it comes back and it floods the area. So the neighbor behind us has actually had to have her home repaired and remodeled because of that flooding. It was explained to me by Mr. Carey that it was something that he was gonna have to fix. And then as soon as the lawsuit started between him and his nephew, all conversations.
So the neighbor, I noticed the neighbor behind you's gutters is running into your guys' storm sewer.
Yeah.
The neighbor behind you,
That's her effort.
their
That's her
house
effort
is
to-
5 feet below the subdivision, but there is a swale there, and, I mean, the new development by no means is going to correct every problem in Cedar Lake. I mean, your guys' stormwater is staying in your subdivision and going north. Her stormwater is actually coming over the berm into your storm sewer and going north, but obviously her being that low is creating issues beyond the scope of the subdivision, but I just didn't know if you guys actually had a storm problem or the neighbor to the west has a storm problem, because, like I said, there is a berm there, the water from that area, I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff in that area,
Our concern is it was explained to us that it was something that they were gonna fix. And now,
inspection's gonna show that.
To be fair, ever since their lawsuit started, that conversation has stopped.
Okay.
And then it's like it never happened. So.
I just kinda wanted to get a little idea of what you guys were
Sure.
experiencing, so when we're inspecting and looking, at least
Allow me to be clear, like, everyone in this building that's concerned about developers and what they're doing in this town, we don't wanna be stuck with the bill for fixing their mistakes. Honestly, to Mr. Wilking's point, something happens 10 years down the road, it is what it is, but this isn't 10 years down the road. This is, it's been like a reality TV show watching what's going on in there.
Over here too.
Yeah, respectfully to both gentlemen, they got into a business they didn't fully understand, they're in way over their heads, and they're trying to get out, and they're trying to make sure they reduce their costs and eliminate any responsibility they have at the expense of other people. I own my own business, I'm very passionate about this, because every time someone in my building messes up, I end up paying for it. I give all the credit to this gentleman right here coming up and at least taking some form of responsibility. But that is our main concern. Our main concern is being stuck with the bill for their mistakes. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Well, this inspection's gonna bring it right back to zero, and if there's anything, these two guys here should get it dialed in.
If residents can be made known the date and time of that inspection, we would greatly appreciate it.
Can you take care of that, Luke?
Yes. Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you.
No, I'm ready to go.
Hello, my name is Tina Waters. I live at 12804 Bell Street, Clear Lake. Monday, I took the day off of work, trying to get some yard work done, and the house next to me fell on it. Fell on my house, I should say. I do have pictures. I have all kinds of things going on here. This house has been a situation for a long time. It's the guy that last lived there passed away in 2017. It's been sitting vacant. I was always told that if something were to ever happen, that the property was too small to build on. It's a corner lot. It's 7105 West 128th Avenue. They came over with this machine and started bashing on the back of the house. It falls on my fence. Next thing you know, the whole thing just slides off and lands on my house. They had raised it and put a foundation underneath it. But I was always told that that house, if something ever happened to it, the property was too small to build on or do anything with, and it had to be knocked down.
Jim, is that the one on safe today?
Yes.
Is that the top of the hill on 128th?
That was that on safe today.
Yeah, it was on unsafe, and they talked about how an unlicensed contractor went over there and tried to do some repairs,
But
and
the thing
then...
is, there's also in there is the stop work order. They only had the permit to do the foundation, which I really don't understand how that even happened. That property, that house was on the ground. The floor joists were on the ground. I have pictures in there of, it was on the ground. So when they raised it up to put that foundation on it, how is it still grandfathered in? It's off the ground. And the bottom of the house literally stuck to the ground when they lifted it up. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how they even got the permit to do the foundation. And then when they did come and do the foundation, they had to put, floor, like not floor, but the part that was attached to the floor, they had to put boards all over the place in order to even put it back down because it just deteriorated. It should have never, ever had that permit. That property should have been knocked down just like the one behind it. Because I'm here, then the one next to me is 7105, 128th. The one behind me was 7109. They came and knocked that one down. More than enough room. This house is literally 6 feet from my house, and it is 1.5 feet off the property line.
Is the whole place gonna be gone, Tim?
It just fell.
Well,
Is the whole house
they
gonna
had intentions of repairing it,
and you have to put a foundation down?
Put a foundation in, there's nothing to stop anybody, from fixing it properly, whatever they gotta change to fix it. So the situation is now, according to the inspector, that somebody was out there trying to do some work, obviously, without a permit. They had the permit, Don's Foundation had a permit to jack it up, put the foundation in, and then they were supposed to get to get finish on the rest of the repairs. So where it's at now is somebody was trying to fix some floor that wasn't licensed. They cut something off. I don't know the whole story, but I seen a couple
The piece of
pictures.
machinery is in the pictures. It's kind of like an excavator, but it's just got like the forks on it. I watched them. He literally went up to the back of the house and just started bashing on it, and the whole back of the house fell off. Well, it slides over my fence. And then pretty soon, well, now he's got to get it off my fence. So now he's taking it and trying to move it over, and I was standing there with the building inspector, Eddie, right?
Yeah, Eddie.
I was standing because I don't understand how this even got the permit for the foundation. It should have never had that. My understanding was it always had to have an existing wall in order for it to go off of, and once you lift that off the ground, how is that still grandfathered in? That property should have not been able to do that.
There are still homes in town that are on piers, and before any permit, correct me if I'm wrong, before any permit is issued for any remodeling, they have to have a foundation put underneath that building, and that sounds to me like what happened. My question, Tim, is the whole place gonna be torn down?
It fell down.
It fell down.
Well, yeah, but the pictures, I don't think, the pictures still show part of it standing up.
No,
So it's gonna all be gone?
From what I was told, that the whole house now needs to be
It fell down right in front of me and Eddie. I was talking
Okay,
to
so-
him, and it just went right on the ground.
So what ends up happening, correct me if I'm, what ends up happening is now it falls under similar but different guidelines, and somebody can buy it and
The way I understood it at the unsafe, Jim, is that, they're going to have to, get all of the house removed, and then they can use the foundation and build a new building, correct?
It just seems like.
You should have been here at the unsafe building, and you would have heard this, but,
Well, I mean, normally I work afternoons. I had to get a day shift so I can even come to this.
yeah, well, I'm glad you're here.
But
Yeah, it's a hard way to do it, and sometimes it happens where somebody starts remodeling this way, and they end up actually replacing the whole house the hard way.
it just seems very shady to me,
But,
because they're supposedly remodeling it. They didn't have a permit. They had no permit for them to
But he-
remodel nothing.
but
They
he-
had the foundation.
But he, at OnSafe, it was brought up, and at OnSafe, the gentleman who owns that property and pulled the permits for
Right.
that property to whatever he was gonna do, was very, upset about what happened. He has been in contact with Mr. Conley over there already. He called the town didn't call him. They explained to him what he has to do. Tony, the building inspector, is aware of it and talked to him. He has to come in and get a demolition permit to clean up what fell down. All that's gotta be gone, and then he has to have it inspected. He has to come in and get another permit with what he's gonna put back on there. But once you put a new foundation and the foundation's in, that's grandfathered in, and you can build on the existing foundation, and that's.
My problem is, I don't understand how when it gets lifted off the ground, how it's
Because the
still
foundation was
grandfathered.
still there.
It was built on the ground.
Well, you have to put a foundation under it.
There was no foundation there to begin
You have
with.
to
You see
put
what I'm
one
saying?
under it.
when you start
I
remodeling,
understand.
you have to put a foundation under it. That's how the foundation ended up there first.
Well, when it first fell on my fence, I called my insurance agent, and I went over there and I said, hey, my insurance agent wants your information, you know what I mean? And he writes down Lakeview Homes, which he was subcontracted, which I found that out through the police report. So he's like a subcontractor through Lakeview. But he wrote down a phone number that is disconnected. So the whole thing just, you know what I mean? There was no permit for him to even be there at all. And then he starts smashing on the back of the house.
Okay.
How are you not gonna think it's gonna fall down?
Okay, we've got your point. The town is well aware of what happened there today. Well aware of it, and they're making strides to correct it, making the owner and the contractors and everything, to take care of it, and the handle this was put back properly and cleaned up. Now, if you've got damage claims and that, then you have to go see the property owner. okay, but they're well aware of it. I sat in the on-safe, before this meeting, I sat in the last row there and listened to it, and they went over this, and Jim is on the on-safe, and Mr. Hunley there, and that was all discussed. So I was satisfied with what I heard and how they were gonna handle it, and he had proper permits to get as far as he did. It was an unfortunate accident that happened with the house. Now, if he was back there knocking walls down, it might have been after this mishap, and so he had to bring the rest of it down so it would be safe. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, that's how it happened, I witnessed it. I was in my yard, and I witnessed the whole thing.
Okay, your point, I mean, your comments are well noted, and, the town is well aware of it, and I thank you for bringing it to our attention.
He's gonna have some licensed contractors and have everything.
Oh, here's your manual work, so.
Thank you.
Right behind you,
Thank you, sir. Thank you again, sir. Terry Broaders, 2123 Arthur Avenue, representing my property here in Cedar Lake at 14513 Morse Street. Hearing this story brings me back to many memories and many meetings and many different categories of meetings, both unsafe, planning, planning and zoning appeals. And I've always said the same thing about this exact situation. You should never allow somebody to touch an unsafe home without an architectural drawing. Had an architect looked at that property, they would have never allowed that person to live that house, they would have never allowed them to touch that house, they would have told them they had to take it down. What you did is you jumped over the most important thing. Tony and Tim are not architects. They should not be able to look at a structure and say it's safe, because they put our town in jeopardy, they put our residents in jeopardy, put our residents' properties in jeopardy, they put our property values in jeopardy. When it comes down to public safety, nobody in this room, not a one of us, but maybe Luke, because he does have a certification, but not a one of us have the authority to be able to say a building is safe to touch, lift, move, shake, or anything to that effect, especially, as Mr. Wilkins said, a lot of our properties are on piers as is. In fact, we got a property just one block that way that's being lifted, and again, I can't even imagine how anybody would have spent $1 to lift that house, because it is in shambles. And the idea that our building department allows these type of projects to go on without architectural drawings is almost insane. Because I've seen some of these houses, I've seen the construction of them, and I just think to myself, we're not doing the town any service, we're not doing the building department any service, we're certainly not doing the residents any service to not make these properties go through architectural evaluations. That would have never happened to your fence, ma'am, had an architect looked at that property, which they should have, because it was already on unsafe. Legally, being unsafe, it should never be touched until an architect verifies that it's safe to go in and either do anything to it. Now, I've heard about that property for 4 years now. It was never safe. I drove past it 4 years ago. I've seen all the work they tried to do. I've seen it all. I've seen a house being built directly across the street without a permit. Brand new concrete, brand new knee walls and floor. And when I asked him about it, all of a sudden, next thing I know, it got covered up with a tarp and hasn't been touched since. It's time that we take accountability for our departments, gentlemen, because they're out there going crazy.
I'm gonna stop you right now, Terry.
Tim, I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry, you're not an architect. You should not be able to say it's okay to build a house.
Where's there a house that's redone, jacked up with a new foundation that's devalued this
I think it was right across the street from these ones we're talking about.
Right next door to me.
Yeah, I think it was right across the street from what we're talking about.
Thank you.
Little order here, if you're not at the podium, you can't talk.
Sorry.
Attorney Adam Sworden, here tonight on something that we were here 2 weeks ago on. This is in regards to the Poultry property owned by Nicholas Yukon. He's here tonight as well. I know you guys are familiar with this project. This is the one where we're looking at doing some vacations of existing easement and a right-of-way. We have a good bit back on the title work.
What I was gonna come in here tonight and give to you, because I don't wanna take up too much more of your time, is we do have a draft petition together. I'm waiting for an update from DVG on a revision to the right-of-way vacation, since that's gonna increase a little bit, since we're deviating from putting in the 5-foot walk on the east side. We're gonna vacate all that, because my client is gonna also put in that petition as part of the agreement to improve the 10-foot town-owned parcel that's the west half of Lot 16. So I have that to present to you tonight. It has the legal descriptions in there, but I'm waiting on the actual exhibits. Once we have those back from DVG, I'll be able to file the formal petition with the town's office, pay the fee, because I know Terry got us in here for site plan review and comments so that we knew that we'd have a shot at even getting this done. As far as the title work, the only other update I have for you is I do have some historical documentation from Chicago Title. Meridian is working on a more in-depth search. We do have some information related to the parcel, and some corresponding information in there may dictate what the town may or may not be able to do with that parcel. So with that, I wanted to give you guys drafts of this. I can answer any questions, but I don't want to take up any more of your time tonight.
Thank you.
Well, we haven't reviewed any of this, and this data should be presented to the staff to look at before it comes to us. So during public comment, I don't believe is the time for us to be receiving this sort of documentation.
Okay. Well,
So we can't really ask any questions on it because we haven't even read it.
Okay. I was just giving you the update to relay what we had discussed before, that we were moving to that next step, reporting back where we were. And it looks like that plan for the proposal in removing the 2.7 feet and the 5 feet and adjusting the right-of-way can occur, and where the update is on the park piece. And then obviously showing that we are committed to putting in writing as part of that arrangement to do the improvement over on the town's 10-foot access piece on Lot 16. That's all I was here to report.
Okay, and I think, yeah, Terry?
I think Adam's comments are commendable here that he wanted to do, but really this needs to be done at a work session before it can get approved. This meeting is to approve the documents that are there, so maybe that's where the misunderstanding was at. It really needed to go through a work session again.
So, Adam, next time you got an update, Terry, can you add it to the agenda update?
I gave it to Cheryl, and she's gonna make copies for everybody.
We'll make a copy and add it to your file, so you'll have it, but we'll
Can you be
need
here
to
for
have
the work
that
session?
finalized at the work session.
Yeah, we should be able to come back to that. We were just talking about...
You should have a better update in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we should. We should have the actual exhibits, and once I have that, I can make formal applications. I want to make a formal application while we're waiting on a couple of adjustments there, but we did say we'd come back and do the update.
Well, I appreciate the update. Mr. Austin, is he gonna get some of these?
Yeah, Cheryl's gonna circulate it to everybody.
Right.
And our next meeting is September 3rd at 6 o'clock.
Right.
We meet at 7 o'clock on the third Wednesday and 6 o'clock on the first Wednesday.
Sure. And what I'll do is, we're gonna have paraphrase of some of the legal aspects that are kind of on point with some of these pieces. We will include that to the staff. It won't necessarily be part of the application, so then that way, if there are any other questions or public comment, we have the documents there that kind of show the story and history behind Meyer Manor, since it's such a long subdivision. Okay?
Okay.
That will help for other things possibly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Guaranteed.
Gentlemen, my name is Mike Janis. I live at 12738 Bell Street. I'd like to start off by saying, Mr. Parker, I like your style. Hold people accountable for the way they represent themselves. We're not going to be a dead horse here, but this property in question here, it was held together by a hope and a prayer and a little bit of Bible siding.
God bless you.
they come out and raise the house to put a new foundation, which they were permitted for. The fact is that Don's foundation had put a ledger board on this thing chest high, because the entire bottom 3 feet of the whole perimeter of the house was gone. They had to go chest high before they found something solid enough to lift this house. So I guess the question isn't about whether it's salvageable, but how do we apply for permits in order to accomplish something that really shouldn't be accomplished? We all know that this house is unsavable. We've all seen it. We've all discussed about it. So do we issue a permit to put a new foundation under something that we know for a fact can't be safe? Is that how we do things? Is the question.
I don't know that anybody knew for a fact that it couldn't be safe.
I mean, there was stop,
until they tore into it, maybe.
Right, but there's been stop work orders in there and inspectors.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a serious problem, that there's been stock work orders and they've been
I mean,
ignored.
it's been there for years,
It's been going on for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been on the unsafe building for a long time. I know that the people that bought it, came to the unsafe building, said they were gonna bought 2 houses there, gonna fix one of them and tear one of them down.
But is the way that we accomplish that is by pulling the wool over your eyes and apply for a permit, and then when the house falls over, be like, yeah, I tried. I mean, I'm gambling, man. And if I bought a house and knew that it wasn't savable, but I was trying to pull something I couldn't pull, and it didn't happen, I'd know when to fold my cards and walk away from the table.
Some people do and some people don't. Me personally, I've done 3 of those, and nothing fell down. And they're still here today. I mean, it's been 25 years ago.
The biggest problem I have is it's our intention to save this house and repair this house. But before we bring in any 2x4s or any plywood or any shingles or any plumbing materials, we don't even have a generator on site or a skill saw or a table saw or anything. The first piece of equipment we bring to the site is a 20-foot telehandler. What part of the construction process requires a telehandler? I mean, is it part of the plumbing, the electric, the HVAC?
Some people can't handle it, is just the long and the short of it. I mean, in this case, the person bit off more than they could chew, and thankfully no one got hurt. But,
They had an unlicensed contractor that went in there and, Tim, you weren't at the unsafe building, but...
No, and I guess I know bits and pieces of the whole story. I know the house wasn't in the greatest of conditions. I do know that I've seen a lot of these houses over the years that have been salvaged and fixed, and I mean, we've made the rule for the foundation theory to stop what's there. I mean, the point is that if you're gonna put the money into it to fix it, and I mean, once, we've had people jack up houses and set them on the foundations and change 60% of the floor and change 80% of the studs, bring the houses back and make them viable parts of the community.
I mean, it's my understanding that they should, to be grandfathered in, we should maintain one existing wall, though, correct?
Well, that kind of has died with, that used to be a tax rule, like if you save one wall, you could claim it as an old building.
Remodel.
I think that maybe we need to reevaluate. I mean, I guess, if you're gonna fix it, I mean, we don't lower the standards, we don't let people leave rotten lumber in that house, we don't, as they fix it, if they try to get away with something, we make them fix it.
You guys are aware of what rotten lumber is, I'm sure. So when you issue a permit for a foundation and you walk in, and then you see 95% of the lumber is rotted.
Right.
With the exception of a few rafters, I mean, at what point do you tell them that you can have a foundation permit?
Yeah, and I guess that's maybe a better part of evaluating prior to, I mean, we've seen it over the years. I get it, and I don't know what all happened over there, and it sounds kind of crazy that somebody paid to put in a new foundation and then came and knocked the house down on
I hate to see a new one fall down in the same, I mean, if they're knocking houses down with a telehandler, I mean,
yeah.
Just say a new one won't fall down.
No, and again, anything can happen in that situation, and I don't know why it happened or what, what happened, and.
But they had an unlicensed contractor.
And again, and again, we didn't know that was happening till it was happening. We went out there and stopped them and had.
They understand that a licensed contractor is required for the foundation, no, but they don't.
Right, that's what I don't know the answer. I'd love to
seems like a lot of
answer.
incompetence to me.
There's something definitely suspicious going on.
I mean, as a homeowner, if I hire somebody to work on my house, and they show up with a telehandler and I'm asking for a remodel job, I'll pull a pin right there. I want to be held accountable for my guys
I think I signed it.
It's incredible that that happened.
Is that, Tim, is that a legacy lot?
Yes.
What are the setbacks? What are the setbacks?
It's a super small lot.
It's probably,
I mean, the lot is.
it looks like an 800 square foot house on a 1,200 square foot lot.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's probably why they attempted to do it, because it's not buildable if the house is removed.
Yeah, once it's gone, the property.
Well, I called it when I first saw it, I mean, it's, and I'm not a professional, but I would think that the competent professionals would have known exactly what he had planned.
So Tim,
Maybe watch it a little closer.
through unsafe, or through the building department, when these situations arise, is it too much to say, hey, we need an engineer we need somebody to look at it and sign off saying
Not
it?
really, but I guess the question is do we as a town, or we as a board, or we as somebody decide who's gonna fix what, and when, and how much, and how big the lot?
No, we have somebody sign off on it, then it's on them.
The goal though, Jerry, has been to get people to redevelop and rebuild, and rehab.
Right, I mean,
to prevent them.
I totally get it.
I mean,
I totally get it, but these guys.
To try to let them rebuild, I mean, at the end of the day, those houses that are in that bad of shape, jack it up, put a foundation under it, change most of the floor joists, rebuild the walls, put it, fix everything that needs to be fixed, and revitalize that house.
Not exactly every nail, every screw, every piece of pipe, every brick.
Well, in that house, the percentages obviously, depend on what's the situation.
I mean, I'm a gambler.
Yeah.
I'm personally a gambler myself, and I've seen that ace come up, and I put all my money in, and I still lost.
Right.
At this point right here, he's got all of his money, and it may be time to pull the block back out of the ground.
And I agree with you, like, at some point, is this really worth it? But that's, as Mr. Parker said, I mean, we've been, we made the guidelines pretty stringent to replace the foundation, get a solid structure, and build it, redo it from the ground up and fix it. I don't know what happened with this whole telehandler knocking the house down. That kind of blows my mind also.
I mean, there's pictures, and that's the only piece of equipment, that's the only tool on
No
the town,
wood.
period. Not a piece of wood, not a saw, not a hammer, not a...
Dumpster?
They got a dumpster, because they intended on putting a house in there. They got a 40-yard dumpster.
The first thing came Saturday morning.
The dumpster showed up 3 days before the house fell down. And the house was completely gutted.
Well, that's odd.
So, I mean, instead of working on my strategy, I guess I gotta figure out my permitting and my planning, and I'll apply for a permit to paint, and I'll just rebuild the house that's underneath of it. So, I think that's what's happening.
That happens sometimes too.
But it's such a small lot, that's my complaint. Shut up. It's a small lot, why even let them build on it?
You're supposed to be,
You can see.
you have to come to the podium if you let us
Appreciate
speak.
your guys' time, and Tim.
Name and address.
Or $3,500 driveways.
Quit picking on that guy.
The only thing is, I don't care if it could have been any other house, which is fine.
I only did
The
30
fact is, it's like literally 5 feet from her house, and you can see each other, you know what I'm saying? Why even allow something like that? I have a problem backing out of my driveway, because I always go over the curb into the yard, because the streets are so small over there as it is.
Well, we try not to return to those 100-year mistakes, but it happens pretty often, and the owner has a right to follow the rules that we have. That's
I
how.
understand that, but
It's been done successfully, I've done it.
It has, and I've done things too, and the lot's too small. It's, a garage is fine on that lot, that's it.
Part of the reason why we try to do this is because, we're feeling like the town is trying to run, the average and poor people out of this town. That, I'm an average person. Someday I think they may run me out of town. Because
You're not average, Bob.
Yeah, I am.
Dave Curry, 14016 Fairbanks. I find it extremely frustrating when people get up before this board and spew information that is not true. I take extreme pride in that subdivision, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to make sure I see that subdivision through to the end. The goers have never come to me, ever, and talked about any drainage issue that's going on there. When they first moved into that property, I asked to go into their backyard to take the basket out of the the manhole that was there. That's the only interaction I've ever had with the goers. The house that they're talking about, their neighbor, I did a complete gut rehab on that house about 6 years ago, and sold that house maybe 4 years ago, and he's saying that she burned up 3 sump pumps in there. There's not even a sump pump in that house. I did the full gut rehab on there. Yes, if the property lies lower than the entire neighborhood, there's gonna be water problems there long after we're gone. And it was there long before that subdivision went into that neighborhood. I have been before you guys many, many times, and I went back through my communications with the town, the building department, the engineering department. I have 40 texts, emails, communications about the erosion that was going on there over the last 3 years.
That's absolutely true.
It's been severe, and I've talked about it many, many times, and I've tried to get ahead of it so that this, where we're at today, would not happen. If in fact, over these 2-3 years that this has been going on, if something had been done about it, we would not be in the position we're in today. And I have 40 communications that, in writing, that I said, please help with this. And if someone had went out and take the initiative to take the steps to stop that erosion, this would not be happening today. And now I'm coming up on the maintenance bond that we all know. And again, if the town is willing to accept, or the engineering department or the building department is willing to accept all of that sediment in that detention pond, then so be it. But I cleaned out that sediment pond, again, in June of '22. We graded that detention and we dug out the sediment pond. In 2 years, all this sediment has happened. And I've, time after time, almost weekly, said, stop this erosion. I went by that subdivision today, and Tim was out there today. There was a mound of dirt out there that is probably 7 foot high by 30 foot long, with no erosion control around it. Today.
Is there a citation issued today?
Nope.
Why not?
There's still fence down on the bottom of that hill. It's not right up to the pile. And again, like I said, you've complained about it. I mean, ultimately, you're the developer. Your responsibility is that site. We're not all of your workers to come and enforce all that. I've tried explaining that. I mean, we do issue citations and we issue fines and we go and look, but ultimately, I mean, we're not every developer's person to come out and be the police.
Here's my problem with it. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but when the man repeatedly complains about deliberate erosion and MS4 violations, and he brings it to everybody's attention, and that's why I'm kind of adamant about fines, because if nobody gets fined, nobody gives a shit. And then he winds up with the ramifications of it. Certainly there's a way that we can all work together and hold people accountable, isn't there?
And again, there was never not any silt protection there. There was inadequate silt protection for a side of a mountain, I guess we could say. And in the times when there was a lot of erosion control, it was large downpours of rain, which it's impossible to stop.
It's one thing when it's a 300 lot subdivision and there's a lot of money there. When you're talking about a 9 lot subdivision,
100%.
I told this guy multiple times I thought he was nuts for doing that.
Right.
I appreciate that he did it.
Agreed.
But do we drive him into bankruptcy because he did it?
I guess, like I said, I don't know where the line is.
A lot of this crap has been done deliberately. All of it has been done deliberately.
And we have a lot going on in the whole community. And we are very consistent with all of the MS4 violations and the individual sites and the inspections by Christopher Burke. He didn't get any more or any less attention than anybody else. There was fines given to him. Was there, what level is expected for the entire community? I guess that's
a higher level, Tim, and I'm going to tell you why. $10 million got spent on that lake.
Yeah.
To clean crap out of it, and all that stuff that's gone in his pond the stuff that was elevated in that water went into the lake. There's another one in Meyer Manor right now that's doing the same damn thing. And we have the MS4 situation and the fine situation to alleviate some of that, and we need to use it, and use it more. Period. I don't give a damn who it is. But if you don't, if there's no penalty, they're gonna ignore it.
I agree.
So,
But like I said, I don't think there's any blatant, that's not there. And again, you know, to stop that water, like you said, you don't go down that back swale. I mean, you need.
But there could be check dams that could have been placed all along that property to stop that flow of water and that sediment, and it could have been done. And I don't know why that wasn't enforced. You know, and you say it falls on the developer. As a developer, I tried to do everything I can. He actually had me trespass from that property, so I could not go on that property. He called the police on me and had me trespass from that property. So what am I supposed to do as a developer?
It's a good question. I mean, like I said, there was individual lot protection on that lot. There was silt sock, there was silt fence, there was some straw bales. I mean, there was always stuff there. Obviously, we went through the dirt pile on the other lot thing for a while, and there was a lot of rain.
This project has been going on almost 2 years.
Yeah.
In December, this will be 2 years to build this one house. And there's been sediment, or there's been piles of dirt on that property since it started, for 2 years.
So, hang on, Mr. Gary, if I might. Tim, Luke, your MS4 people don't look at these smaller pieces of property?
If it's under 1 acre, there's no MS4 permit with IDEM, so it just
Okay,
falls.
but there are MS4 violations.
We wouldn't classify it as an MS4 violation, because there's no IDEM permit active for this site, it's under 1 acre. We would.
So you guys don't issue MS4 stuff?
Yeah, for individual lots.
For individual lots.
They handle,
So-
like, once he pulled out his SWIP permit, then he was done with his Christopher Burke inspections for MS4.
Right, and then it becomes staff's responsibility.
Right.
So a month ago, we were here and it was raining buckets, and Chuck and I were talking about the water and mud running down the drain from the newest home. There were no issues, there were no citations issued either?
No. I mean, I seen some, you know, I went there and seen some mud running down over the silt sock, over the silt fence that was there. Again, I don't know, I mean, if everybody wants to enforce a drop of mud or some mud run, that was a lot of mud. But the control is in place, it's not working in a gully washer.
Well, I understand we get 200-year rains every 6 months.
That have the same exact perimeter protection, and there isn't that type of, because of the grade.
If there's an issue in the manor, and we know about it, I mean, it should be taken care of quickly, shouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the issue in the manor is, obviously.
We were talking about some mud running, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's on lakefront property, to build an addition, changed all the grades, all the mud's running into the neighbors and everywhere else, and no one's doing nothing about it.
Our inspectors actually went out to that house, spoke to the general contractor last week when we were made aware of it.
Oh, excellent.
Spoke to the general contractor, and the general contractor has given us his word he's gonna take care of it. And Tony will be out there again tomorrow to inspect that property.
Thank you for the update.
So it was my understanding that, as a developer, that when I applied for the NOT through the state and was removed from that, and of course Don Oliphant was here at that time, I had to send a letter to all the homeowners saying, or all the property owners saying, you are now responsible for your MS4. And every property owner knew that. And then the town the building department would now be doing the inspections on those, and it was no longer my responsibility. Certainly, if it was, this would be a different story. But over 40 times when I say this keeps happening, and I'm asking you for direction now moving forward, because this inspection that that Luke is gonna do here is right around the corner. And where do we go from here that detention and sediment pond has been destroyed over these 2 years? Where does that leave me? I mean, I've gotten a lot of, I wanna say misdirection coming here and thoughts that I thought I understood, and today I'm finding differently. So I'd like to get some direction today on where I need to go from here.
I have no idea what to tell you. What I would say is wait until you see what the inspection says and figure out if they can tell you what the cause, if there's a problem or what the cause is, and see whose responsibility it is to fix the problem. If it's yours, then you fix it. If it's the homeowners, then they fix it.
I would never run from the responsibility.
Nobody's saying you are,
Yeah,
but you ask us the same question every time you're up here.
David, what you just proposed possible now? No, I didn't think so.
I would wait and see what the inspection says and then take it from there, and then talk to the people who are doing the inspection and to the building department and see what they say. I don't know anything about water control or silt in the ponds or, I think if you got silt in the pond, it's a good place to put walleye. I don't know,
And I'd like to clarify one of the things. The goers had said that I turned that over to one of the residents. I am not turning over that subdivision until all of this is resolved. I'm going to stay in control of that subdivision as the HOA president and until all of this is resolved. We do have recorded bylaws there. Hopefully this is going to get resolved. There's going to be bylaws there.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks, Dave.
Good evening, my name is Margaret Shear, I'm a resident of Rose Garden Estates. My address is 10185 West 146th Avenue. I currently have been living in a rental provided by Lennar because I have a 12-foot by 12-foot excavated hole in the floor of my home. Apparently Glover & Sons messed up the original construction. They have been non-responsive to the Lennar rep that I've been in contact with about a resolution that can be met. I am asking for whatever direction can be offered by the town of Cedar Lake to protect its citizens. I understand your appearance here seems a little bit serendipitous and synchronized, but I don't want to live in a rental. I have a dog. My mother is very ill. I am now displaced from my home. I want to purchase another home. I'm reluctant to do so in the town of Cedar Lake because of the difficulties that have been placed with trying to get a resolution. And to be honest, what I've heard from other residents within the community. I did a lot of research before I landed in Cedar Lake prior to my retirement, serving as a public servant. I was an English professor for 25 years. This is where I wanted to land. I am now rethinking that decision. I've spoken with Mr. Conley, and I've spoken with the inspector who allegedly approved the inspection reports before I closed on my home. All I'm looking at now is a 12 by 12 pit in my kitchen area, and I'm looking for guidance and advisement about where I go next for assistance. Thank you.
Please. President, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and just for the record, in response, my name is Todd Clevin, Vice President of Land for Lennar Homes. The man that was just, the lady that was just up here, I did personally look at her house today while I was out there. I do apologize for trespassing, but I wanted to see what was going on. I did look in your window, and I have spoken with our customer care. I am very well aware of the situation. It is one of those unfortunate situations with my analogy that the ball went between the goalie's legs. It is in the hands of our Miami attorney, and I do know that Lennar will take care of this through the fullest. They did immediately put her in a temporary housing situation. I understand you have some personal family issues going on, and I apologize for that. These stories, just, you can't make this up. Things come in threes, this one came in six. The contractor that is at fault or allegedly at fault has also fallen ill, but there are negotiations. It's my understanding, without getting too much detail behind the podium, that she has asked for the house to be purchased back, and Lennar is entertaining that. We do not know the full cause. It is my understanding that the building department has also investigated this and looked at the inspection history, but just for sake of time and point of record, the entire upper management staff of the division is involved, as well as the corporate attorneys, and we are going to expedite the solution as soon as possible.
Well, the right thing to do would be to put her in something else.
Correct.
And ma'am, I hate that you're saying you don't want to live in Cedar Lake. That tears me up.
It breaks my heart too, sir. It breaks my heart too. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other public comment?
Pam Howard, 10013 West 141st Lane. I'm also in Rose Garden. I appreciate you coming this evening. I had previously been told that Mr. McSherry was no longer our person. Andre had gotten promoted, gone somewhere, Tom had gone somewhere. I was told Brian and Brandon were now taking over. I don't appreciate you saying that I was wrong. I was given wrong information. Communication, number one problem. I received a phone call today from Brian from Lennar wanting to follow up on the removal of my fence post. He said that should have been done a month ago. I said, no, it was just done Friday. So again, that's the communication problem that Lennar has. With your punch list, I walked my neighborhood, and I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I found 23 more of those fence posts. There are additional ones. And I think to prevent any sort of lawsuit against, pardon me, the HOA people or the town, if someone should fall and cut themselves on those fence posts, I'd like to know if that's been added to the punch list, because it really should be. It is?
Make sure they're on.
Okay, great, thank you. That's why I think it would be fair if the residents of Rose Garden knew what was still outstanding. I have a big crack in my concrete. Any of this being taken care of, we would like to know.
Can anybody from Rose Garden come in and get a copy of this list?
Public record.
Public record.
No, public record.
Okay, so anybody can just come in and ask for a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you, appreciate it.
Copies of that ready.
Mr. President, Howard, the reason you were contacted today was under my direction.
Any other public comment? Any more public comment? Seeing none, public comment's closed, we're adjourned.